Hello, this is Life Advisor Kent with lifeadvisorservices.com. This is our CBT Versus series, and we are on to round two. If you'd like to know a little bit more about this Versus playlist, please see the CBT Versus intro video. But let's get started. We are still talking about Self Matters with Dr. Phil. So, if you haven't seen any of the other videos, what we do is kind of put up a quote from the book, see how it relates to CBT in a positive or negative light, or just maybe kind of neutral. So the one we're starting with here in this video is, once you commit to reconnecting with your authentic self, you will view those tiresome dailies, the formerly irritating events of your life, in a new light. Page 13. Now, reconnect with your authentic self really is just looking at yourself from the outside in. Typically, we get wrapped up in our brains and we're thinking about this person. We're having that battle of, oh, we should have said that to that person, instead of just kind of seeing ourselves from the outside. How are we reacting? What are our thoughts? What are our emotions? It's kind of just putting a stop on us just moving forward through life and seeing everything, through our eyes instead of starting to look at ourselves. Now, one of the ways this really helps with CBT is journaling. And if you go to lifeadvisorservices.com, you can, watch all our videos. You can download our worksheets that, we got going. And hopefully you'll see a little bit more if you're not familiar with the subject. But with Dr. Phil, he calls it the authentic self. And in the first Versus video, we said about how he had to create his own buzzword. But it's not really all that innovative. And we're going to talk about this a lot more, where he talks about thoughts, emotions, and actions. And if you watch our intro, there's a little familiar ring to all that, which is called ABC. Now, he has this authenticity scale, page 45 to 51. Holy cow. It is complicated. If you look at it, you got it's almost most true, how you feeling. If it works for you, use it, move forward with it. But I think there's a lot there, especially when you compare it to kind of like CBT and, with the worksheets that have been created for that. And then you got to use a calculator and you got to add things up. And when it comes to self-help, I believe the easier it is, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, is the way to go. And with his, I don't want to, say it doesn't work. I don't want to say it's something that you shouldn't try. But if you look at it and you're going, holy cow, I think he created a whole nother book on just going over this. And with CBT, you just kind of make a quick checklist, break it down, let's say, top 5. From there, we're going to try to figure out the 1 or 2 things. We try to keep it as simple as possible. And the other thing I don't really appreciate is that 3 months from now, you go back and you've been, working kind of on yourself and you're trying to get from point A to B. And then you look back at this and, oh my gosh, I got to go through this whole process again, where with CBT, you can look at it and go, oh, here's my 1 or 2 thoughts. Am I still having those thoughts, 3 months later? Are these still my 3 bad behaviors, 3 months later? Oh, yes, they are. I still need to keep working. No, they're not. Okay, let's maybe do another quick sheet. Maybe there's something else I can start working on. I think that's one of the major differences between this authenticity scale. And he always talks about how it's, that's not really a great buzzword that he used for that anyways. And I'm sure that most of that was taken from somebody else as well. But I think there's just an easy way to do it, especially in the self-help field. Now, if it's like, say, he's probably doing his talk therapy, it could be, a great use for him, because he can look at it as well and kind of bring out some stuff that maybe you're not really projecting. So I think this is maybe where he's coming from, is that, he's from that talk therapy where he's sitting in front of you one-to-one. But I think it could present some struggles for people who are just looking to do this on their own and kind of hopefully finish it where they can look at it 3 months from now, go back, look at it, and keep it simple. That's what I advise. All right. Now, with this quote, bottom line, you, through the choices you have made either to act or react, have been programmed from the inside out, page 58. This is where you really start to see a heavy dose of the ABC formula. It's the action, belief, consequences. Just repackaged CBT, marked and sold as his own great idea. And I just don't think, with most people, I think the ABC formula is so much simpler to do. Watch our video on it, and Google it, and really see the difference between going through his scale where you got to add numbers, divide, and I think you need a degree in calculus to get through it. But he's making it a lot more complicated than he should. And so the next one, he kind of says, in order to maximize your life comes totally from the inside out, page 59. I like this. I think it's simple. And he could have just said that in the beginning of the chapter. Beginning. I'm sorry about that. Missed that with the spell check. Of the chapter, and left out the rest of the gibberish. I think I spelled gibberish right. But anyways, so I really, like I said, I'm not here just to totally bash somebody, but I really do love that. In order to maximize your life comes totally from the inside out. It goes back to the ABC. Your thoughts have control of you, and not the environment around you. When you walk in a room, if you already started that, you got that toxic thinking, that negative thinking, you could already be ready for negativity to hit you. If you walk in with a positive attitude, things are going to be a little different view. You view the world differently with the thoughts that are in your head when you go into new environments. All right, well, that's round 2. And really kind of seeing how he's using the ABC to kind of, talk about his actions, behavior, and consequences. But also, too, like I say, I think there's some, you really do have to start from the inside out with this. Once again, if you aren't subscribed to our videos to stay up to date, subscribe. Does us a huge favor. You can hit that thumbs up button. Leave comments below of what you've encountered with your self-help journey, any of the books you read, TV shows, something that's inspired you and worked for you, or maybe something that hasn't. Always like the feedback, and want to keep building our community. Let's see. I think we got round 3 coming up. Stay tuned.